How are you ding dong diddly doing there, gamerinos? Hope you're having a flanderific day. I still forgot to go through and find what Ned would actually say in this situation, but whatever. I am joined, I would say as always with G, but last week it was kind of a weird week
You
just
streamed
because it
without
was.
me and didn't even tell me.
No, I told you. I told you. It was just a weird week because it was
Yeah,
like it
okay.
was close to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we both kind
It
of
was
had
tough.
some shit going on, and it just didn't line up right. Um, yeah, unfortunately. But yeah.
Sadly.
Uh, do we want to? Did we get any prayer requests in the chat or in like on the video? I was looking for my
No.
phone and it's in my hand. She's like, where the fuck did I put my phone? Oh, I'm assuming no is the answer. Okay, okay. All right, because I was thinking like that would be kind of cool to like start off with a prayer, but without like prayer requests, I don't think either of us are horribly comfortable with that. I'm working on writing a prayer, something easy, you know. Actually, I could probably send you over what
Or,
I've got, and like we can tag team this.
ooh.
Yeah, just come up with something,
Tag team.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
how me a producer?
what?
Give me some producer.
Yeah, yeah. I'll give you some
Or I guess
writing credit. Yeah, I'll give you a writing credit.
give writing credits. There we go.
Yeah. Oh,
Dang.
do you want me to blow your mind on a fun fact about a writing credit? Did you know that Rick Astley does not have a
Yeah, sure.
writing credit on Never Gonna Give You Up? No writing credit.
Ultra, you are cutting out badly.
Oh no. Hello, 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 hello. Hi, hi, G. Hello,
Yeah,
G. Am I
it's
here?
being very selective. Did you know that
You.
Never Gonna Give You Up?
Uh-huh.
I heard.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of funny. You actually just cut out for a second for me while you were explaining how I was cutting out. Um. Anyway, what I was saying is,
You're
Rick.
saying I have low Wi-Fi. It could be my end. It's gotta be my end.
Oh, could be, could be. Probably doesn't help that I'm at
It's
like 57%.
gotta be.
I mean, I'm,
Yeah,
I'm
this actually might not happen again, or at least my stream.
you,
I
you.
could definitely be on yours.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I can maybe flip flop to my computer and see if that makes it a little bit better, but
No, I definitely think it's my end because I could see my uh Wi-Fi in the corner.
ah, yeah,
And
it's
it's not looking good.
yeah, it probably didn't help that some moron like had you sit around for an hour wasting battery power. Such an idiot, that guy.
I mean, my laptop is always fucking.
Um, I'm sorry, what were you saying there, G? You cut out at the end. You said your laptop something?
Yeah, I'm cutting out. Yeah, my laptop is always plugged in, so
Ah,
it's not gonna die.
I gotcha. But yeah, the fun fact was that Rick Astley does not have a writing credit on Never Gonna Give You Up.
Interesting.
Yeah, you would have thought that.
Did he write the song?
No, no. The three other guys have the writing credit. Here, let me look it up. Who wrote Never Gonna Give You Up? Stock Atkin Waterman.
Interesting.
That so I guess it wasn't three names. It was one dude with three names that sound like three last names. Stock Attican Waterman.
Yeah, my stream's not happening.
Oh no. That's like
It's dropping frame rates and stuff, but I could definitely.
I'm
See,
not.
now that I've stopped streaming, I can hear you fine.
Okay, well that's good. Can I also just say how fucking random that is? That like of all things it's gonna kill your stream. It's the Bible study. It's the Bible study.
Oh, right.
Like
I
literally.
don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi, but I don't mind chilling in your channel if you want to go ahead and.
Okay, all right.
I'll just put my two. We're gonna keep it short, anyways. So.
Yeah. I guess I'll start off with the reading here. Can you hear me all right still?
I can.
Good. I should probably make sure that everyone can hear you all right on my stream before we actually get going with this. All right.
Do I need to talk?
Yes,
hello,
that would be great.
Hello.
Do I need to talk? Yes. Okay, cool. Thank God I get to silence it because it's looping like hella bad right now. Whatever. All right, so Matthew 5. Introduction to the Sermon on the... Oh, I forgot to tell you, I found a translation, and the translation name makes me so happy that that's what I'm going to be using from now on. It's called the Good News Translation, and I like to think that Hubert Farnsworth wrote it, and that he's going around saying, "Good news, everyone!" So... I'm going to be using the Good News Translation because it makes me very happy. Jesus saw the crowds and went up a hill where he sat down. His disciples gathered around him, and he began to teach them. Happy are those who know they are spiritually poor. The kingdom of heaven belongs to them. Happy are those who mourn. God will comfort them. Happy are those who are humble. They will receive what God has promised. Happy are those whose greatest desire is to do what God requires. God will satisfy them fully. Happy are those who are merciful to others. God will be merciful to them. Happy are the pure in heart. They will see God. Happy are those who work for peace. God will call them his children. Happy are those who are persecuted because they do what God requires. The kingdom of heaven belongs to them. Happy are you when people insult you and persecute you and tell you all kinds of evil lies against you because you are my followers. Be happy and glad, for a great reward is kept for you in heaven. This is how the prophets who lived before you were persecuted. You are like salt from the whole human race. But if salt loses its saltiness, there is no way to make it salty again. It has become worthless, so it is thrown out and people trample on it. You are like the light of the world. A city built on a hill cannot be hid. Okay, I guess I'm gonna pause it here real quick, just because I feel like already a lot has happened. I mean that's I felt like there was a lot to really there is a lot to break down and discuss, but I feel like with this translation it's pretty pretty cut and dry, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is actually pretty I don't want to say dumbed down, but dumbed down. Yeah.
Yeah, but the first part, especially the Beatitudes, are so encouraging.
Definitely. Because it doesn't matter pretty much what happens here, just as long as you react well to it here, then the real reward will happen for the rest of time.
It's not even that. It's more of obviously we're human and we can't do enough. And
Right.
so it's some people, well, most people would probably get down on themselves, being like, well, I'm poor in spirit, so like I don't think I would be able to get into heaven that way. And all these verses are just like, blessed are those who are mourning, for they will be comforted. Blessed are those who are meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. God is so good at providing for us when we were in our darkest, like providing for our deepest needs. It's super comforting to like I am enough, and yet there is Jesus.
I'm sorry. Repeat that last bit one more time. You kind of cut out a little bit.
No, it's fine. My Wi-Fi this is going to be a very fun stream,
No, no,
but
it was
it's
actually going pretty well. Like I heard the entire thing that you said, just until that last bit. There was a little skip.
no, I was saying that like as humans we are not good enough, but there is still Jesus,
Oh, okay.
and Jesus is able to deliver us even when we fall short, which
Right.
we will always do.
Right. Yeah, and there's really something on here kind of for everyone if you think about it, especially like when you consider like what we've read so far with Jesus and how like or wait, was that me or was that did we get to that bit where like he's sitting down with the tax collectors and um like the undesirable people and the Pharisees are like, why are you sitting with them? And he's just like, well, who else would I be with? Like I'm like saving people who need saving, you know.
Right?
Um, and
It's like
and
wouldn't the doctor go heal the sick? Like
right,
why?
right, exactly. The doctor doesn't stay with well people. Um, but I feel like all of the beatitudes are very in line. Uh, that's something else that's really cool about the Bible. It's very very consistent with like what it says, and like how see and that's it's another great proof that like the Bible is like is what it says it is. If you look in other texts, you can kind of find things that are, it's like, hey, that shouldn't belong there, like that doesn't sit right with me. But again, the Bible is very consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like I said, this totally lines up with everything that like we have been presented about with Jesus. And like I said, it's got a little something for everybody that's going through pretty much anything.
Right.
Yeah, I think you wrapped it up way better than I did, but um, also this is interesting. If salt loses its saltiness, there's no way to make it salty again. I love that line.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I feel like 13 is a really interesting verse. You are like salt for the whole human race, and then what I said, and then it becomes worthless, so it is thrown out, and people trample on it. I can't. I'm not quite picking up on that, but that is definitely saying something.
All right.
Uh,
Um, I think it's mainly talking about like this goes back to I think is it John? What is it? What would be it? James, I think. Yep, it's James. Give me a second to find the
okay,
actual
okay.
verse. I mean, I know the verse. I don't know which it's faith without works is dead. And like,
Oh, I see. I see.
yes, yes, you are supposed to know Christ, and that's what gets us into heaven. But knowing Christ also means doing Christ's work and becoming more like Christ. And so, if you don't have the desire to do what Christ wants, then your faith is dead. That's basically what it's saying.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
James 2:17. In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that tracks with everything we've read so far. That tracks. 14 is a bit easier. You are like the light of the world. A city built on a hill cannot be hid. Basically just like if you're really down with Jesus, people are gonna know it because you can't hide it.
And you shouldn't hide it.
Oh, right. But I would say to even like to take a step further on that, like regardless, it wouldn't even like cross your mind, I guess. I mean, I guess it kind of would. Trying to articulate what I'm thinking here. Because again, I gotta say it the right way, or it's not gonna like be at all correct, and
No,
it's not gonna make sense.
Say what you're thinking. It
all right.
doesn't matter.
Well, basically,
this is just talking space.
True. But I still want to sound kind of correct, though. but basically, like if you're really living,
speak your mind, and God will do the rest.
All right.
Honestly,
all right,
you don't have to be correct.
Fair enough. I like to be correct, though. I like to be correct.
I understand. I understand.
But basically, if you're like really living for Jesus, again, like it's just the action of doing that, like the action of like living that way is not something that like physically can be hid. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was more or less it. Like just, you know, because if you're really like going for Jesus, people see that, you know. Anyway.
Right.
Verse 15. No one lights a lamp and puts it on. Sorry?
I could take you from here if you want me to.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
I'm going to be reading from a different version. Do you want me to switch over?
No, you can read from whatever version you like.
Okay, we're going to do ESV. Okay. I like ESV. I switch over from ESV to NFE several times. But I do like your version. I looked at it earlier when we were doing the Beatitudes.
Nice.
So, nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to the Father who is in heaven. Stopping there because I did want to make a point on another thing that Jesus said about the parable of talents and how a servant gave all of his a ruler or some kind gave all of his servants talents and split them up evenly, and and how you're supposed to go out and make disciples. This is a really bad explanation, but it's fine. I want to get my point across.
No, you're doing all right. I've already done the bad explaining, so you can't do any worse than I did.
But yeah, like just the synopsis of the parable is this ruler or some kind of like landowner gives talents, which was basically currency, I think, back then, to his servants. He gives one of his servants 5 talents, one of his servants 2 talents, and the other one 1 talent. And then he said, "I'll be back. Do with this what you will." And so the leader leaves, and one of the servants goes out and like invests in land and gets back this money that the talents that he was given plus some. I think he doubled it. I can't remember, or tripled it. One of the whatever the verse is.
Okay.
And the person that got 2 talents also did the same. He went and got his investment back and gained more talents than what the goodness gracious, what the leader gave him.
Right.
But the last servant that got 1 talent went and buried it, and didn't invest in it, and didn't grow in it. And when the leader came back, he was pleased with the first 2 servants, but he wasn't with the second, because he went and squandered what he was given.
Right.
Instead of multiplying it. And so in the same way, when God gives us these talents, is when God's given us our gifts and what we are able to go and show to other people just in our daily lives, what do you have to do?
Yeah, I was going to say when God has given us our modern day meaning of the word talents.
Right. We're supposed to use that to multiply his kingdom and multiply those things instead of just hiding it in the ground and keeping our ticket to salvation and not doing anything with it.
Right. Kind of.
So that's why I wanted to say.
All right, not to take shots at other religions here, but isn't that kind of what the either Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses are like? Isn't that like one of their things? They gotta like tell a bunch of people about Jesus so that those people won't go to heaven, but they will go to heaven, or something like that?
I'm not entirely sure. I haven't read up enough on that to like give you a definitive thing. I know that they do go out and do door knocking, and they have to like hit a certain quota of doors or whatever. I don't think that's necessarily correct. I think the best way to show Jesus to everybody is just to live out your life like Jesus, and have others around you see that.
Oh, I'd like to point out real quick, Mormonism is a cult, and that we are not associated with them in any way, shape, or form. Sorry,
Talk about Christians?
No, they're absolutely not. No, I've actually read.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I've read a little bit of their Bible.
I was wondering what the "we" was in that sentence.
Yeah, we as Christians, yes, no, that 2 totally separate things. They like to think that we're like kind of associated, but no, absolutely not. Sorry, I've like I said, I've read a little bit of the Mormon Bible, and it's kind of crazy. God tells this dude to straight up murder some guy. Like, okay, I don't know. Like, I don't think this guy was doing anything that was like particularly evil. I think it was just like kind of a minor disagreement or something. And God was like, "Yeah, you need to kill this dude." Okay. And then he was like, it suggests that the lost tribes of Israel moved to America, and that's where the Native Americans came from, and that they're really Jews. And what was the other insane thing?
We're not going to get too much into that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Continue on. Yeah. We don't need to spread insanity.
So, starting with verse 17, do not think that I have come to abolish the law of the prophet or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. For truly I say to you, until heaven and earth pass away, not an iota, I love that word, not an iota, not a dot will pass from the law until all it is accomplished. All is accomplished. Iota just means really, really, really small.
Right. I agree. I also love that word. And I actually made fun of someone halfway recently for not knowing what it meant. That's a story for another time.
I didn't find out what that word meant until high school, and I think I found that word myself.
It doesn't it like refer to a like a molecule, right? Or something like that. Like there's something that's
Yeah,
called
it's
an
really
actual
tiny.
iota. But yeah. Anyway,
Uh,
sorry.
okay. Yeah, so welcome to ADHD Bible study.
Right.
Okay, continue with verse 19. Therefore, whoever relaxes, sorry, therefore, whoever relaxes one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. Sorry, I had to scratch my head. But whoever does them and teaches them will be great in the kingdom of heaven. For I tell you, unless your righteousness exceeds that of the scribes and Pharisees, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. What are you thinking?
Okay. Sorry, let me go back. I've been so distracted talking about craziness and random things. I got to do a little bit of rereading myself. Sorry.
No, you're good.
But okay. 17 I think is definitely worth talking about. Um I think it's cool that he's like, yeah, no, I haven't come to destroy what has been like what's come before me, but I'm like the embodiment of everything they were talking about, you know.
Right.
And I forget, we had like a counter going on how many prophecies he had fulfilled. I think we were at like 4 or 5 or something like that. Um,
Yeah, I don't remember the specific number.
but yeah, not surprising at all.
I also like number 19. But it's like,
Hmm.
therefore, whoever relaxes one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in heaven. But whoever does them and teaches them will be called great in heaven. Meaning, like, I didn't come for y'all to get lax on the rules. Like, my commandments are my commandments.
Right. Um, and I think it's also very interesting because we're living very much in a time where people want to be lax on all of the biblical rules. Um,
Right, the
so I,
prosperity gospel and
right, so I think that's very, very prescient. That it's like, hey, again, the all of these people who are making Christianity light, like they're they're not like with me, right? And that's gonna like reflect when everything is said and done.
mm-hmm.
But
All right, let's see what God says about anger.
okay, go ahead.
Were you continuing? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and then I think it's also cool that on the flip side of that, like everyone who goes out and is like, hey, like we got to actually do things the right way. You're gonna be rewarded for that. So I mean, it's kind
And that
of
also goes back to the Beatitudes.
right. Um, but it's also got that whole like very real world, you know, cause and effect, or like
Mm-hmm.
balance. But what were you gonna, or were you gonna continue on?
Yeah, we're going to read about anger in
Okay.
starting in verse 21. If anybody's following along, I like
Hmm.
to say where I am. You have heard that it was said to those of old, "You shall not murder, and whoever murders will be liable to judgment." But I say that anyone who is angry with his brother will be liable to judgment. Whoever insults his brother will be liable to the council, and whoever says "you fool" will be liable to the hell of fire. So wow, excuse me. So if you are offering your gift at the altar and remember that your brother has something against you, Leave your gift there, before the altar, and go. First be reconciled to your brother, and then come offer your gift. Come to terms quickly with your accuser while you are going with them to court, lest your accuser hand you over to the judge, and the judge to the guard, and you will be put in prison. Truly I say to you, you will never get out until you have paid the last penny.
Yeah, that's a lot there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I mean, it's very easy for everyone to be like, oh well, I didn't like hurt anybody, I didn't like kill anybody. But even just being angry, it's like, oh, that's difficult, you know. Because it's very easy to get angry at people. Very easy for whether it's a good reason or a bad reason.
Mm-hmm. And one of those really cool things is like, so if you're offering a gift at the altar, and there remember that your brother has something against you. So like if you're praying to God or giving your tithes or taking communion or whatever you do, and you remember that you have some pent up anger and or resentment towards somebody, God says to like, don't give me your gift and go and be reconciled with them, and then give me your gift. He wants you to give with a whole heart and a pure heart. So these verses are really really some toe steppers.
Yeah, definitely. This is like where the whole like it's not easy to be a Christian comes in. And where like
right.
and where Christianity light just does not work.
No. You gotta be all in or all out. Lukewarm.
Right.
Lukewarm water will be spit from his mouth.
Right.
I don't know what verse that is, but
I
that is a verse in the Bible.
yes, it is. I maybe it's in like Acts or Corinthians or something.
Maybe.
Whatever, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If we continue to talk about it, we're gonna go down the rabbit hole. But yeah, like I said, Christianity is hard. It's hard. Because, for example, like in my case, like it's so easy to be so irritated at like, or I guess irritated isn't like fucking pissed at people like Diddy who just do like unspeakably evil shit. And it's like, again, things, very unchristian things, very unchristian things, very unchristian things. And it's like, that's not the way Jesus would want me to act. And it's like, but is it entirely wrong though? Because again, it's unspeakably evil shit. And again, I wouldn't be upset at this man if he didn't do unspeakably evil shit. I'm just saying. But yeah, but that's like
I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Which part? The entire thing?
Sorry, my brain. Yeah. What's the gist of what you're saying?
The gist of what I'm
drew a blank.
The gist of what I'm saying is like it's just in my experience of living, I guess it's just very easy to be angry and upset with certain people who do, like I said, unspeakably evil shit. Or I mean, it could just be someone just irritates you or whatever. Like it's just really easy to be angry at people, and like I don't know. I guess that was it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
But the Bible does not say do not be angry. The Bible says be angry and do not sin. emotions are emotions. God created us with emotions. That's the whole point. But
Yeah.
what we do with those emotions is what gratifies God.
True. It's very easy. It's very easy to flip out with that one. It's very easy to flip out. Anyway, I'm going to continue reading because I feel like that is probably the best thing to do right now.
You want to pick it up, or you want me to continue?
I can pick it up. Where did you leave off?
27.
27. Cool. You have heard that it was said, "Do not commit adultery." But now I tell you, anyone who looks at a woman and wants to possess her is guilty of committing adultery with her in his heart. So if your right eye causes you to sin, take it out and throw it away. It is much better for you to lose a part of your body than to have your whole body thrown into hell. If your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. It is much better for you to lose one of your limbs than to have your whole body go off into hell. It was also said, anyone who divorces his wife must give her a written notice of divorce. But now I tell you, if a man divorces his wife for any cause other than her unfaithfulness, then he is guilty of making her commit adultery if she marries again, and the man who marries her commits adultery also. You have also heard that people were told in the past, "Do not break your promise, but do what you have vowed to the Lord to do." But now I tell you, do not use any vow when you make a promise. Do not swear by heaven, for it is God's throne, nor by earth, for it is the resting place for his feet, nor by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great King. Do not even swear by your head, because you cannot make a single hair black or white. Just say yes or no. Anything else you say comes from the evil one. Okay, I feel like there's a lot to unpack here as well. So I guess I just want to pick up because I thought this was really cool when I read through it the first time. Except for it doesn't sound as cool in the Good News translation, I will admit. The don't like swear, like don't make a promise, just do it. Just say yes or
Right.
no. I think that's pretty cool.
Like
and it's an interesting.
It's more of like.
I'm sorry.
It's more of being.
You cut out.
Am I cutting out still?
A little bit.
So what I'm trying to say is.
Okay.
It was. No, it's more talking about like, be trustworthy. Don't get yourself in a position where you have to swear. Like, if you say you're going to do something, do it.
Right.
That's all that's saying.
Have you make your word like mean something.
Right. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Like, yes, I'll do that, and it gets done. No, I won't do that, and it doesn't get done. That type of thing.
I'd also like to throw in here that, like, this is just another one of those great bits from the Bible that, like, even if you're not a Christian, how do you read that and go, that's just objectively wrong? Like that? No, that's just a great way to live your life, even if you're not a Christian. You know, like, just don't be a lying dickhead. Also, I think that, like, I don't know if this is like intended or not, but I think it's kind of also interesting that it says, like, you know, keep your word, don't swear by heaven, because, like, if you were to break that promise, I feel like that would be really, really bad, that you made a promise to God and you didn't fulfill said promise. Like, I don't know, I feel like that would just be, like, super disrespectful. Like, if you make a promise to God or by God, you should absolutely keep said promise. Yeah. Anything else you wanna add?
Going back up to the
divorce part?
verse 29. No, verse
No.
29.
Verse 29.
Your
Oh,
right
okay.
eye causes you
Oh,
to sin, tear
yeah.
it out and throw it away.
Mm-hmm.
For it is better that you lose one of your members than your whole body to go to hell. And I think, as gruesome as that sounds, you could equate it to today. Be like, if you, since the chapter is talking about lust, like if you use your phone to look at like pictures and like lustful items, then get your phone. Like, it's better to lose your phone than to not have Christ. Like that type of thing.
Mm. Yeah.
So I like the way it phrases this of like, instead of just being like, oh, well, I'll keep my eye and then just try to like look away. It's more like, no, get rid of it. Remove yourself from that situation.
Right. I'd also like to throw in, I don't think it's literally saying, like, he's literally saying you should dismember yourself. Um yeah. Yeah, no, he's again, you summed up what he's actually saying, but
yeah, remove the temptation.
Right. I know some people would be like very literal on that shit. Like, just painfully literal, like, oh, he's saying you should dismember yourself. Like, no. No, use some discernment. So I don't know, I just wanted to throw that in there as a little, like, disclaimer. An eye roll disclaimer. I actually totally forgot about that. That part.
The divorce is, like, it's a good verse to know, but, like, I don't think we can glean much, like...
Yeah, no, I think that's...
not really... It's kind of straightforward, cut and dry at that point.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that just goes to, like, you making, like, humans in general making better decisions. That's all it is. That's, like, just... That's a big decision if you want to marry someone, and you should be sure about it. And again, don't go out and just, I want to get married just because, like, you really want to get married. You just feel like it. Like, it's a bigger deal. Yeah. Again, I feel like that's a lot of the morals of the story in the Bible. Make better decisions. Live your life in a better way. I don't know, but I also...
Okay, verse 38.
Yeah. Oh, do you want me to continue?
It's up to you. I don't mind reading.
Sure, I'll continue. I feel like you went on for a little bit, right?
I can finish it out. I'm fine. My words are flowing today.
Okay. You have heard that it was said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But now I tell you, do not take revenge on someone who wrongs you. If anyone slaps you on the right cheek, let him slap your left cheek also. And if someone takes you to court to sue you for your shirt, let him have your coat as well. And if one of the occupation troops forces you to carry his pack 1 mile, carry it 2 miles. When someone asks you for something, give it to him. When someone wants to borrow something, lend it to him. But you have heard it said, love your friends, but hate your enemies. But now I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, so that you may become the children of your Father in heaven. For he makes his sun to shine on bad and good people alike, and gives rain to those who do good and to those who do evil. Why should God reward you if you only love the people who love you? Even the tax collectors do that. And if you speak only to your friends, have you done anything out of the ordinary? Even the pagans do that. You must be perfect, just as your Father in heaven is perfect. Okay. So there's a lot. There's a lot in here as well. Don't take revenge. I mean, I think that's pretty straightforward. And I feel like there's more that he's saying. I don't think he's straight up saying that you should like be eager to take punishment from people. But I also cannot. I mean, I think he's just saying be ready for it, really. Like, be prepared is what I think that's more so saying. Like, don't, like, be excited to get slapped in the face, but more so know that you shouldn't take revenge, and if someone slaps you across the face, they're probably going to slap you across the face again. So, you know, feel like that's...
And it's more talking, like, and instead of taking retaliation, I guess you said it correctly. Like, instead of immediately becoming the person to be like, well, you wronged me, so I'm going to wrong you. It's more of like, help them.
Right,
you don't know what they're going through.
Right, there's probably something that's causing that.
I'm trying to find a verse again. I really wish I knew these things off the top of my head.
Okay. And in verse 40 it says, you know, if someone wants your shirt, let them have your coat as well. I think that's just speaking to you should be generous, like overly generous when you can. I don't know if that's necessary. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess that would track. That Jesus would be like, you should give away all of your possessions to help other people. That tracks with everything that he's got to say. But I don't know if necessarily saying that like having stuff is a bad thing. Just got to be prepared to give it all up and understand that it's not important.
My goodness, I really wish this would.
Oh, do you want me to keep talking and like I'll fill the void while we're waiting. I feel like I could expand a little bit more.
I know. So I know it's in Corinthians.
Okay.
I just don't know where in Corinthians it is. But it's the verse of, and I'm going to butcher it very badly, but the gist of it is, don't like be shoddy in your work and do everything as if you're doing it for Christ. And I feel like that also plays into the verses that we just read of being like, what if, not say Jesus would slap you across the face, but like, what if that was Jesus? What if Jesus needed that, like, your cloak or your tunic or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I
could see Jesus slapping me across the face and it being totally just and deserving. I could see that. Go on, cook.
But yeah, like, you wouldn't not, if you are believing what you say is that Christ did come back and is standing in front of you, you wouldn't not want to give him everything.
Right.
And so, treating others as if you are treating Christ is a really good way to live, It's actually my dad's favorite verse, which is why I'm trying to find it, but I can't find it.
Oh no. Um, but yeah, no, I think that's kind of what I was saying a little bit is like when you have the chance to be generous, you should be like overly generous. Is I think what he's really saying here, and that you should, of
Right.
course, always try to be generous. But like if you have a special chance, like somebody needs something, go above and beyond for that person. While G is looking for that verse in
I
Corinthians
gave up.
there.
I'm rereading this stuff.
Okay. All right. Anything that you want to add uh, to what I've already said, or
Yeah. I know we focused on like the retaliation point, but
Mhm.
even just loving your enemies, like that those last few verses of like
Oh yeah, I to be
say
fair,
love your enemy and
I
pray for
hadn't
those who
quite got
persecute
there.
you. Say what? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say I hadn't quite got there yet. There was more I wanted to say. I just meant like on the whole, like the being generous and the you know don't take revenge, be level headed, expect another slap to come your way. you know.
Well, yeah, I decided that we're going to move on, so we're moving on.
Oh,
So
okay,
I don't know why
okay.
you're not keeping up. This
Yeah.
is my stream now, Ultra.
Okay, all right. G has taken over. G has taken over. This is Ultra Mega Knight.
Ultra Mega Knight. What is our ship name?
Yeah, Ultra Mega Knight 1998.
Yeah, but
Oh.
like you were wrapping up on that one too, so I was just gonna move on and talk about the next few verses.
Yeah. Go on.
But like loving your enemies, and this also goes back to like not having resentment in your heart. I love how intertwined the Bible is. Like you could be like, oh, this kind of sounds like this verse, and oh, like
Facts.
this means this, and you could actually reference it back to the Old Testament here, where God said this to the Israelites, and
Right, or this story alludes to this, and yeah. Or this is very
right,
similar to this that happens later, and yeah.
like even in the same chapter, like chapter 5, everything ties into each other. Don't be
True.
angry. Don't retaliate.
Be
Don't be
generous.
angry. Love your enemies. Be generous.
And then it
It's
kind of
just
concludes with like be like God, which
right.
kind of like ties into literally all of those things, be generous, be forgiving, love your enemies and all of that.
Ooh, sorry, I'm looking ahead.
Oh, okay.
Next
Wow,
chapter we get into the
cheater.
Lord's Prayer.
Cheater looking
Next
ahead.
chapter we get into the Lord's Prayer, which I actually have lots of
Oh, okay.
insight on that because I just did a men's Bible study on this.
Okay, cool. Well, before we get to that real quick,
I figured we were just going to end with 5 today, but continue.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. We'll end with 5. I was actually looking at it. I don't know if there's anything I want to add because I think you kind of summed it up pretty well.
Yeah, I've kind of said that my stream didn't work, but I'm glad I get to be here for yours.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, if you want, I can like send you the stream and you can upload it to YouTube too if you want. It can be our little joint video.
I still have the old video of mine.
Yeah, just let me know if you want it.
Sorry.
I'll happily give it to you.
Oh, I'll definitely take it.
Okay, okay, all right. Yeah, I'll send it your way, man. I'll send it your way.
Cool,
Um,
cool, cool, cool.
yeah, the whole love your enemies, like, I feel like that. Well, yeah, that kind of ties into the 46 and 47. Like, it's really easy for you to only like the people that like you, and again, being a Christian, God calls you to be more. So
Hmm.
that would involve uh, loving your enemies, you know. And I guess that includes the horrible, horrible, evil people who do horrible, horrible, evil things. Ah.
Right.
Ah. uh,
There's sometimes where I can notice myself get like visibly upset at some things that people do, and
mm,
I will just as soon as I notice it, I'll just turn around and pray, and not even pray like, oh God, I was angry at this person. I'll be like, God, I understand that this is also your child. Like, I shouldn't be super quick to judge and stuff. There might be other things in their life that's going on that's causing this to happen. Not saying that this is good or not, but just let me have a spirit of discernment, that type of thing.
yeah, yeah. Because like I said, that one's real difficult. Because like I can name a few people off the top of my head, like Kim Jong Un, Diddy. Just it's like that's an ah. But yeah,
Even Ted Bundy supposedly found Jesus. Not
I don't believe.
entirely sure
I
if
mean,
that is
I
sure.
yeah, I guess I can't speak to
That's,
anyone's spirituality, but I'm going to say that it
I
is
was about to
most
say that's not for you to judge.
right. But I'm also going to say that is most likely a lie, as he was a pathological liar, proven
I don't know. Hopefully,
proven pathological liar. So I'm going to say that there is some evidence out there to suggest that that is probably a lie, but I cannot confirm or deny that. Like I said, can't speak to anyone's spirituality, but I can speak to the fact that he was a pathological liar. So do with that what you will.
my head goes to it's not my place to judge, and if he
Right,
did find Jesus and he actually went to heaven, then good for him.
right, right, right. Like I said, not my place to say that absolutely one way or the other, but I have feelings one way based on evidence, but again, I could be 100% wrong on that. I am willing to 100% eat a giant dick on that when I die and go to heaven and see Ted Bundy there. I'm 100% willing to eat a giant dick on that, but I'm just saying the man was a pathological liar, is all. Who I would also like to point out that I don't think he ever admitted that he did anything wrong. So there's also that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see.
We'll see. You're right. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Again, if I could put some money down, I feel like I would, but again, I'm also willing to be wrong on that. Anything very random, very weird ending there, but anything else you wanna add
Right?
on?
No, not really. I'm excited to take this slow like we normally do.
Yeah, yeah. No, I feel like this was a
This is nice.
pretty good, pretty thorough episode, and there's again, there's so much here. I mean, I guess it
Right.
is
We
almost
we
50
turned a
verses.
Bible chapter into an hour of content.
That's awesome.
Not saying we're doing this for content purposes.
Right,
No.
right, right, right. No, no, literally. I would like to point this out because I don't think I ever said the mission statement of why we were doing this, but like, the whole reason I wanted to do this was just like put something positive out, you know, like try to spread the good news with the good news translation. And yeah.
Right. And doing that the only way we know how, because we're hermits.
Right, right, exactly, exactly. And not only that, but we're hermits with ADHD, real bad, real bad. So these videos go off the rails sometimes.
Makes for a
Right,
good
right.
stream.
Makes for good content, I guess.
We're
Because
just chatting. It's not
right,
we're not getting super serious.
right, and it just makes the stream more entertaining, which is great because if it's entertaining, more people will want to watch it. And more people will watch it, more people will hear what we're having to say, and yeah, it's all good.
Right, right. Well, with that, I'm gonna have to go.
All
But I
right.
don't know if you had some final things you wanted to say.
Uh, I don't think I have any final wrap up thoughts. We got chapter 6 and probably 7 next week. Oh no.
I didn't realize that was being picked up on the mic.
Sorry. What? I heard something going on, but I'm not sure what it was. Oh, that. Yeah, that.
I have a bottle I'm blowing into.
Oh. I'm not
It's
even.
a black cherry soda.
Oh, is it an alcoholic black cherry?
No. The
No.
soda bottle.
Oh, because I had this
It's
one.
by IBC.
Oh, okay, that sounds good. I had this beer once, and it was like a black cherry beer, and it was so good. I wonder if I still have the bottle. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, it was amazing. This was back when. So I used to drink a little bit, a lot, but yeah, it's so great, so I don't do it. It's just really not great in any way, shape, or form. Uh, oh, that's it. I can see it, but I can't read it so good. It's in like, oh, it's Mackenzie's. Mackenzie's Black Cherry Hard Cider. Oh, it's so good. So good. Yeah, and then there's also other reasons I don't drink anymore. Other reasons too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I was gonna say you were saying that you were blowing into a bottle. I'm not gonna lie, the entire stream I was using this like business card I've got, and I was kind of like dusting shit on my desk as we were talking. Like I don't know, it just kind of bothered me seeing all the dust around. I was like, I gotta like.
We need to put ADHD in our tags.
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
What is he doing right now? Oh, he's just stimming. That's all.
Yeah, I'm just like dusting. It's cool. It's cool. Dusting with a business card, you know. It's how we do around here.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me.
Of course,
Again.
thank you for being here.
I'm glad I can make this. I'm kind of sad that I don't have my stream, but at least I get yours. So.
Yeah, you'll get mine, so it won't be a total loss.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will see you in the next one, G.
Well, if anybody's watching and wants to put their prayer requests, we do.
Yes.
We should create a channel on our Discord.
Yes, we should absolutely do that, and by we I mean you.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, no, I love that idea. Um, oh, I'm also gonna send you over the part of the prayer that I've been working on because, like I said, I want to say a prayer at the beginning or the end, but again, I couldn't pull a good one out of my ass. I'm not gonna lie.
That's how you spell requests, right?
Requests.
Yeah, that's how I spelled it. All right.
Okay, all right, all right. Watch it be wrong.
It's fine. Somebody will call us out on it.
Yeah, whatever. It'll be fine. It'll be totally fine. All right. Well, I am gonna actually end the stream real quick because
okay.
I am going to start up another stream and oh, bye-bye. Yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Uh thank you YouTube crowd who's going to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Weak.